Hello everyone, I'm Natalie, and this is the Pacifican Out Loud, the Pacifican in case you can't read. First up, we have Jesse, our lifestyles editor. Jesse?
What's up, Pacific? This is Jesse Volkert, lifestyles editor for the Pacifican, with a request for you students out there. Send pictures of cool things you'll be doing this spring break to pacificanlifestyles@pacific.edu. Just make sure to keep it PG. As we head into the last few days before spring break, don't forget to check out some live music in the Lair Thursday night from 8 to 10 p.m. This is also the time for all of you going on the ASUOP spring break trip and alternative spring break to get excited. Have a great time. If you're interested in writing for us, come to the Pacifican meetings every Thursday at noon and our office hours every Tuesday from noon to 1 p.m., both in Morris Chapel. Have a great spring break, Pacific.
Thanks, Jesse. Tonight, we have a lot of great campus news for you. Carrie will give you the scoop. Carrie?
Hi everyone, I'm Carrie, and this is your campus news for the Pacifican Out Loud. This weekend, Pacific held the LGBTQIA conference. The University of the Pacific partnered with UC Merced to co-host one of the largest LGBTQIA events in the Central Valley. The Western Regional Conference 2012 Be the Movement, Lead the Change is expected to draw hundreds of students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members from throughout the western United States to Pacific's Stockton campus. The conference featured speakers, educational sessions, entertainment, and networking opportunities. The opening keynote address by Academy Award winner Dustin Lance Black kicked off the Western Regional LGBTQIA conference. LGBT activist Black, a writer, director, and producer of film and television, wrote the 2008 screenplay for the film Milk, as well as J. Edgar. Pacific's Amos Alonzo Stagg Memorial Stadium has been temporarily closed because it is no longer meeting modern standards. The university will no longer schedule events in the stadium until a feasibility study can be completed analyzing the costs and efforts needed to modernize the historic sports arena. The feasibility study will be conducted during the next few months and is expected to be completed by the summer of 2012. The study is necessary to determine the cost of safety improvements and bringing the 28,000-seat arena up to current standards. Thursday, in the Lair, Pacific's Women's Resource Center will host the first event of Women's History Month. The opening reception for Women's Empowerment invites people to bring a poem to read or share and come learn about the full calendar of events planned for Women's History Month at Pacific. Contact Corey Martin at cmartin1@pacific.edu for more information. This Friday at 8 p.m., the Academy of Student Pharmacists will be hosting the second annual Pharmacy Leadership Dinner. The dinner will give students the opportunity to network with alumni and mentors. It will take place in the UC Ballroom. For more campus news, pick up a new copy of The Pacifican every Thursday or visit www.thepacifican.com. For the Pacifican Out Loud, I'm Carrie. Back to you, Natalie.
Thanks, Carrie. Ruben D is up next with sports. Ruben?
Hello, this is Ruben D with the Pacifican Out Loud Sports Time. Softball put on a stellar performance at the Cathedral City Classic over the weekend. The Tigers went 4-1 in weekend play, taking out two teams ranked in the NCAA Top 25. Pacific defeated number 21 Oklahoma State 5-0 behind junior Nikki Armagost's stellar performance. After a 3-2 loss to BYU, the Tigers rallied off 3 straight. They took out Iowa State 8-0 and Syracuse 5-2. In the final game of the Classic, Pacific held off number 14 Texas A&M 2-0. Men's basketball ended its regular season home schedule in heartbreaking fashion, dropping a close 69-68 contest to CSU Fullerton on Thursday. Sophomore Ross Rivera led the team with 17 points, while junior Travis Fulton pulled down 10 rebounds. Pacific will end the regular season on the road, starting with Thursday, March 1st at UC Santa Barbara. March 3rd, the Tigers will take on Cal Poly with a possible first-round Big West Tournament home game on the line. The women's basketball team had its first game since illness struck. The Tigers fell to UC Davis 65-61 Saturday. Junior Kendall Rodriguez led all scorers with 20 points. The team will end its season with home games Thursday against UC Santa Barbara and Saturday against Cal Poly. The 2012 Big West Tournament will take place March 6th through 10th, with semifinal and championship games at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Number 11 men's volleyball started its 4-game homestand over the weekend, hosting 2 top-ranked Mountain Pacific Sports Federation foes. On Friday, the Tigers hosted number 6 USC, falling to the Trojans 3-1, with scores of 25-18, 25-23, 28-30, and 25-23. Saturday, the team was defeated by number 10 Pepperdine in 4 sets as well. Senior Sean Daly led the Tigers with 12 blocks in the 2 games. Sophomore libero Javier Caceres totaled 28 blocks over the weekend's action. Pacific will host number 3 UC Irvine and number 12 UC San Diego Friday, March 2nd and Saturday, March 3rd, respectively. Baseball continued its slow start to the season at the UC San Diego tournament. Thursday, the Pacific was edged by number 21 Oregon State 10-7. After a 6-1 loss to host San Diego on Friday, the Tigers had San Diego State down 4-1 in the 8th inning on Saturday. The Aztecs rallied for 4 runs in the 8th inning, coming back to win 5-4. The Tigers lost another lead Sunday, letting a 3-2 margin disappear with runs in the 6th and 7th innings and a 5-4 loss to San Diego. Pacific will next travel to Kansas State for a 3-game series starting March 2nd. After a trip to San Francisco, the Tigers will host a 3-game series with Creighton March 9th through 11th. Both the men's and women's tennis teams had rough outings over the weekend. Saturday, the women's team fell 6-1 at UC Santa Barbara. The following day, Pacific fell short against Cal Poly in a 5-2 affair. The men's team suffered sweeps against Arkansas and Santa Clara over the weekend. The men's team will visit Nevada March 3rd, while the women's team will head to San Francisco March 4th. The following weekend, the men's team will travel to New Mexico and BYU. The women's team will come back from San Jose State and host St. Mary's on March 11th. Men's golf participated in the North Ranch Intercollegiate, which took place Monday and Tuesday at the North Ranch Country Club in Westlake Village, California. Up next, the Tigers will travel to take part in the Fresno Lexus Classic at Fort Washington Country Club. In addition to that, Pacific Softball will host the 2012 Louisville Slugger Invitational March 2nd through 4th. The Tigers will face Sacramento State, Washington, and Delaware in the first round. The teams will then be rearranged, with the number 1 seed facing the number 4 seed, and the number 2 seed facing the number 3 seed. The winners will play for the championship. All games will be played at Bill Simoni Field. The full tournament schedule, as well as the full weekend sports schedule and recaps, can be found in the sports section of this week's Pacifican. And this has been Pacific Sports Time with Ruben D. See you next time during Pacifican Out Loud.
Thanks, Ruben. That's all for the Pacifican Out Loud tonight. Check out the new issue tomorrow and every Thursday to learn more about campus news, lifestyles, sports, and opinions. I'm Natalie. Have a great night.